It's just shredded cheese. Cheddar is whenever you take a piece of cheddar and rub it on someone's face. That's cheddar. Or cheeseburger.
Hey. Potato and heads up, good.
Yes.
Good. Hey, also good. Why not all together?
No, well, maybe.
That's just, that's a little.
When Brother Steve said something about Coke tea, I told Brandon, I was like, well, I wonder what that tastes like.
Yeah, what?
Sweet Coke, more sweeter than Orleans.
You know, if Brother Steve had simply said, half cut tea, he could have avoided that problem.
Yeah. Perfection. That's true.
True.
Or just get a lemonade.
Yeah.
All right. Ooh, that could have been really bad. I would have had a lot of explaining to do in the morning.
All I heard was a crack.
But I didn't. My plate almost broke,
Oh.
and I just the whole YouTube world gotta look at my stomach right there. It was just
I'm
right there.
gonna go up there and screenshot. I was
So.
only have one people.
Yeah, do that. There.
All right, so how's everybody today? How was life? How is?
I take a nap on the way, but my dad wouldn't let me. That's how life is.
So we are kind of wrapping up tonight, and really mainly tonight, and then on the Devo on Tuesday we're going to wrap it up. And then next week we're going to start a new Devo, and I'm looking forward to that. Who is someone in your life that you consider like strong, whether physically or whatever? Who is somebody you love just consider strong?
I mean, serious.
Who?
The Rock.
Who is somebody in your life, not a famous person? Your dad, your brother-in-law?
Yeah, it's Uncle Jeff. Dude's built.
All right.
Goal is to bench, what is it, 500, squat 500
Dang.
before he's 50.
Oh, wow.
Probably not.
What is he at right now? 44.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
fine.
All right. Someone else. Who do you consider strong in your life? And it doesn't have to be physically strong. Could be mentally strong, emotionally strong. Your mom. Okay. All right. Mhm. On a scale of 1 to 10, how strong do you think you are?
1.
It's negative 10 option. Is negative 10? Wait, no, I sat on a child.
Whatever, however you want to answer that, to where it's just up to you.
I sat on a kid from Valley Springs.
You did. That was pretty awesome.
Hey,
I don't know.
All right. That was an interesting response among everybody. Interesting.
No, negative 20.
2.
You think you're do what? What'd you say? Oh, I thought you said, I think a negative 4. I thought you said, I was like, what? Oh, okay. All right. Well, let me ask you this question. What are some situations that might make us feel tired or discouraged or weak and in need of strength? School, running a 5K,
Fun.
basketball. Understand. What about some other things? Chores.
Like you just said.
They just ratted you out.
Like you just doesn't answer and Alvin raised her like, no.
Well, it's like not personal, it's like for anyone.
Okay. You ever have just one of those days that is just like emotionally draining? You ever have a day that you're just like, I just don't want to think about another thing? Or you just have these moments where you're just like, I don't want to talk to anybody. Like you're like, I love you, but if you don't get out of my face, I'm going to destroy you.
In the name of Jesus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like y'all, do y'all know the story of Alexander? No good, terrible, very bad, horrible day. I love that. I love that story. And how he wants to move to Australia and he realizes like, you know, some days are just like this. Some days are just bad. Some days are horrible. Do what?
Even in Australia.
Even in Australia. And so we'll say that a lot to each other, like when we're just having terrible days or something like that. And we're like, even in Australia, because I mean, that's just the reality. We all have struggles. We all have difficulties that we go to. Sometimes they are because you did something, like you played a game or you ran a race or you had to do, you were gone and just full of busyness all day. Other times it might be because you have just been dealing with the weight of stuff. Maybe something's happening. Maybe you and a friend are in a fight, or maybe you're going through, maybe it's a breakup that you're going through, or you're about to go through. I don't know. But there are times when we can just get emotionally, like wore out and emotionally drained or mentally drained or physically drained. Maybe it's just, we are doing horrible in this class and it just seems like it's getting worse and worse. Or we're dealing with some stuff with our friends at school and we just don't know how to answer it or what to do, and it's weighing us down. So in those moments, like, what helps you find strength? In those moments where you feel just wore out, weak, tired, just it's been too much of a day, where do you find strength? Okay. Food.
Sometimes just being still and quiet and like nothing.
Yeah. 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 And by the way, you talk about sleep. I had a professor that would say all the time, sleep is spiritual. And I mean, think about this. Jesus took naps, right? I shared with y'all when Elijah was whining, complaining, and saying, Lord, just let me die. God made him take a nap and gave him some food. You know, and then he was good. He was okay. It seemed like everything was going to be all right. But there are things that we can do. There are healthy things, and of course, there's not healthy things. Like a not healthy way of dealing with stuff when we're emotionally drained or just whatever it is. An unhealthy way is lashing out in anger or being hateful and ugly to people, right? But what if we tried to handle those moments? Is there someone in your life that you can go and lean on? Is there someone in your life in those moments that you can trust? This is what it says in 2 Corinthians 12:9. It says this, and this is Paul, because Paul, he's talking in this and he's like saying like, Lord, I've asked you about this problem I've been having. He called us a thorn in his side. Nobody really knows if he's being serious, like this is a literal like physical wound that's not healing properly, or maybe it's more so metaphorical that he's talking about dealing with these people that are just being hateful and mean, or just it may be the burden or the weight that he's feeling. And he says this, and he's asking God, can you remove this thing? God, can you help me deal with this thing? And this is what he says. he says this in verse 8. He says, concerning this, I pleaded with the Lord 3 times that it would leave me. But he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is perfected in weakness. What do you think Paul means when he says that when he's writing about God's answer, about God saying that when he's strong, he's weak? What do you think he means by that? Or that that he says he's strong when he's weak? What does that mean? Is he not making sense in that? What does he mean when he says that? When God is saying to him, in my strength, my power is perfected in your weakness.
We're having, like, every day is not a bad day. So when you have a bad day, and it just starts like progressively getting better, it's not. Anything we don't have power over that. So then we're.
No, I think, no, I'm getting what you're saying is that, like, because it's in those moments, right, that like we know that with God, it'll get better in time. And I mean, think about that. God is someone that says to us, because in scripture, he says this, he says, give me your burdens. Scripture teaches us to cast our care on him because he cares. So Paul, he is saying in God's, when I am weak, I'm, God says, let me show you my strength in those moments. It's almost like Paul is being reminded by God, when you are weak, you're strong because you have me. In those moments when we struggle, in those moments when we have difficulties, in those moments that we really are just like, God, I don't know if I can continue this anymore. We can lean on him in those moments. We can trust in him. And when we do that, that is a great strength. I've known believers that have gone through horrendous things. Loss of loved ones, fight cancer. Shared with you about my brother and his family, and suffering the loss of a baby. And to see those people in those moments just really kind of lean into their faith. The only way that I can see that is because of how they responded, and the strength that they responded is because of God. And here's the other thing. You're not alone. Everyone in this room is going through stuff. Maybe not major stuff, but we're all going through stuff. If you put a toothpick between 2 ledges, like, big enough for it to fit, and you put something on it, it might hold a little bit, right? A little bit of weight, right? Like if you put something on, I don't have the toothpick right here. But what's going to happen if you put too much weight on one toothpick? It's going to break. It's going to break, right? Or it's going to fall, right? And that was amazing how you said fall. That was amazing. Wow. I was like, that was awesome. But But if you put more than just one toothpick together, and you put it between two objects, it can handle the weight a lot better. That's the thing with us. I mean, that's why, like, so many times I tell y'all, come be a part of church. That's why I message you guys. That's why I send text messages and say, hey, if you can't join us, come join us on this, come join us on that. If you can't be here in person, because there's a strength and a power about being together. You and I, we need each other. I mean, that's the reality of it. I need you, you need me, we need each other. And there's a strength about, because when we can go through these difficult moments, when we can go through these things, and maybe for us, we just need to be reminded that that God is there for us. Maybe we need to be reminded, we need to be reminding each other that when things go hard, things go left, when they should have gone right, when we should have taken that turn in Albuquerque and we're ending up here, or, you know, when life is just, we need each other. We need to encourage each other. So think about this. If there's something going on in your life, you know you can talk to me. I hope you know you can talk to me. I hope you know you can talk to Crystal. I hope you know you can talk to Christy. You can talk to Brother Steve. But I want to encourage you. There's someone here that you can talk to. Talk to them this week. There's someone here that you can be an encouragement to this week. Be an encouragement to them. This week, I want to challenge you. What is one thing that you can do to find strength and to help someone else find strength in God? Now, there's something I want us to do. This is where the craft part comes in. Okay, it's going to require just a smidge of writing. Okay, this is Pastor Appreciation Month. Okay, what I would love for you to do. This is what we're going to do. Okay, Crystal's going to pass these out and do the envelopes too. Yeah, and I want you to put your names on the envelope. You're going to write a thank you note to Brother Steve. Appreciating him for everything that he does, appreciating the fact, because this is the reality, and I shared this with our youth committee. I have been with pastors that could not stand youth.
Literally.
I have been like, I had a pastor that said, I don't trust youth. And yet you guys have a pastor that loves you, that I think that's it for the that wants to be involved, that comes and hangs out with y'all.